Right now, somewhere, two people just got paid the exact same amount. Same job title, same hours, same tax bracket, same number sitting in two different bank accounts tonight. In 20 years, one of those accounts will have 6 figures in it. The other will be empty. Again, like it is every month.
Same income, same paycheck, completely different life. That's not a coincidence, and it's not about who's smarter.
So here's the question this video actually answers. If the money coming in is identical, what is it inside your head that decides where it ends up? The easy guess is discipline. More willpower, more success. Case closed. Stick around because that's almost exactly what one very famous experiment seemed to prove. In the late 1960s, a psychologist at Stanford sat 4-year-olds down at a table one at a time and put a marshmallow in front of them. He told them one rule: wait 15 minutes without eating it, and you get a second one. Then he left the room. Some kids ate it in under a minute. Others stared it down, sat on their hands, sang to themselves, anything to hold out. That researcher, Walter Mischel, followed those same kids for decades, and the ones who waited didn't just do better on some random test. Years later, they showed up with better financial habits, steadier jobs, fewer maxed out cards. Here's where it gets interesting. It's not about willpower the way you think. It's not a character trait some people have and some people don't. In 2011, a researcher at UCLA named Hal Hirschfield put people in a brain scanner and asked them to think about themselves right now, today. Then he asked them to think about themselves 30 years from now. On the scan, thinking about your future self doesn't light up the same part of your brain as thinking about you. It lights up the part your brain uses for strangers. Read that again. To your own brain, the version of you that retires is a stranger, some random person you've never met who's somehow supposed to inherit whatever's left of your paycheck this month. That's not a metaphor. That's what the scan shows. And the gap wasn't random either. The bigger that gap showed up on the scan, the more that same person discounted their own future money a week later in a completely separate test. Your brain isn't guessing, it's showing its work. Here's an irony worth sitting with for a second. Right after finding all that out, your grandmother, stuffing cash into labeled envelopes for groceries, rent, and gas, was doing something economists spent decades quietly mocking as unsophisticated. Then in 2017, an economist named Richard Thaler won the Nobel Prize in economics for proving with actual data that she was right the whole time. He called it mental accounting. Treating money differently depending on which mental envelope it's sitting in isn't irrational at all. It's one of the only tricks that reliably beats the stranger in your brain problem, because it takes the decision away from you before your present self gets a vote. The woman with the envelopes on the kitchen counter was running behavioral economics before it had a name. So the marshmallow was real, the brain scan was real, and your grandmother somehow already knew the fix. But here's the part nobody puts in the same sentence as any of it. This exact glitch is sitting inside a number you can actually calculate. Picture the two people from the opening again. Same paycheck. One of them, every payday, moves a fixed amount into an account before they let themselves see the rest. The other spends first and tells themselves they'll save whatever's left. There's never anything left. There never is. That's not a personal failing. That's just how a paycheck behaves once it hits a checking account. Run the numbers. $200 a month invested at a historical stock market average of around 8% a year becomes almost $300,000 in 30 years. Out of that, only about $72,000 ever came out of your own pocket. The rest was built by time doing what time does when you stop interrupting it. And before you feel too smart about all this, here's one you've probably already done yourself. Researchers at Berkeley tracked thousands of gym memberships and found people on monthly flat rate contracts paying on average $17 every time they actually showed up, when a single visit at the same gym cost $10. Over a year, that's roughly $300 paid for a future self who was supposed to go more often and never did. Same glitch, just wearing gym shorts instead of a suit. You signed the contract for the person you plan to become. The person who actually has to show up is someone else entirely. Now zoom all the way out, because this isn't just two people, and it isn't just gym memberships. In 2024, the Federal Reserve found that more than a third of American households couldn't cover an unexpected $400 expense without borrowing or selling something. A third. Not people who are broke, people with jobs, with paychecks landing on time, who still can't absorb one flat tire or one dentist bill without panic. Here's why that number isn't just about income. Researchers ran an experiment in a New Jersey shopping mall. They asked shoppers to imagine a car repair bill and split them into two groups, a cheap repair or an expensive one. Then they gave everyone the same cognitive test. Wealthier shoppers scored the same either way, but for lower income shoppers, just imagining the expensive repair dropped their test performance by the equivalent of 13 IQ points. The same brain, the same person. The only thing that changed was how much financial worry it was carrying at that exact moment. That's the stranger in your brain problem again, except now it's not fighting your patience, it's fighting your bandwidth. Worrying about money doesn't just make you cautious, it measurably makes you worse at thinking your way out of the problem. And that's actually where 2, maybe 3 camps of researchers still don't agree with each other, which we'll get to in a minute, because the disagreement matters more than it sounds like it should. Here's the part nobody talks about when they talk about raises. Say your income jumps. A promotion, a bonus, a better job. What happens next, almost automatically, is the apartment gets nicer, the car gets newer, the lifestyle quietly expands to swallow the raise whole. Researchers call this hedonic adaptation. You don't feel richer for long because your baseline just moved up with the money. Households earning double what another household earns often save at almost the same rate. Not because they can't afford to save more, but because the stranger in the brain scanner got the raise, not the version of you that's supposed to benefit from it in 30 years. That's the third habit hiding inside the same glitch. Not a new problem, the same one wearing a bigger paycheck. So if the problem is a stranger sitting inside your own skull, is there any way to actually shake hands with him? Turns out, yes. And this is the good part. Hirschfeld, the same researcher from the brain scanner, tried something almost too simple. He put people in front of a digital, aged version of their own face, 30 or 40 years older, and asked them how much to save for retirement. People who saw their own aged face allocated up to twice as much money to their future as people who saw an unrelated older stranger. Same brain, same choice, just one honest look at who's actually cashing that account. And on the other side of the world, a bank in the Philippines tried something almost the opposite. They offered customers an account that paid the exact same interest as a normal savings account, with one catch. You couldn't touch the money until a date you picked yourself. No bonus, no trick. Just a lock, and you hold the key you gave away on purpose. People lined up for it. Savings balances among the people who opened one jumped by over 80% within a year. Not because the bank paid them more, because for once, the present self didn't get a vote. So an empty bank account, a car payment that never ends, a gym membership nobody uses, a raise that somehow changes nothing, they're not 5 different problems. They're the exact same event happening 5 different ways. Your brain treating the person who has to live with the consequences like someone you've never met, right up until you build something that makes that stranger impossible to ignore. So the next time you're about to skip the transfer or swipe the card or let a raise quietly vanish into a nicer apartment, picture who's actually on the other end of that decision. Not some vague idea of future you. An actual person waking up inside a life you're building for them right now who never once got a vote in how it turned out. Here's where researchers still split 3 ways. Michel himself later in his career pushed back on his own famous result. A larger 2018 replication led by researchers Tyler Watts, Greg Duncan, and Hanan Kwan, using over 900 children, found that once you control for a family's income and education, the predictive power of that original marshmallow test shrinks by more than half. Their argument, it was never really about willpower. It was about whether a kid's world had ever given them a reason to trust that the second marshmallow would actually show up. Some evolutionary researchers go a layer further still. They argue present bias isn't a malfunction at all in the environment it evolved for. When tomorrow is genuinely uncertain, grabbing what's in front of you right now is the mathematically correct move. The glitch only becomes a glitch once you drop that same wiring into a world with 40-year pension funds and stable paychecks. It was never built to trust. Thaler's camp argues something different again. Forget trying to fix the wiring at all. Redesign the environment, the automatic transfer, the envelope, the locked account, so the decision never has to survive contact with the stranger in your brain in the first place. Is the fix inside your head, in the world that shaped your head, or in the structure you build around it so your head never gets the final vote? Nobody's fully settled that argument yet. So picture those 2 bank accounts one more time. Same deposit lending tonight, same amount, same moment. The only real difference between them is which one already decided before the money even arrived not to ask a stranger for permission to keep it.